is a feeling of anger or something you think someone has done. Anger and bitterness, they are quite similar, very similar. But with bitterness is more of continuous exposure to anger. You have just refused to let it go. And that anger has created this emotion inside you that once you see this person, you are just not interested. You just don't want to hear about it. Say you have this anger towards one person, sustained every single day, every day, every day, every day, every day. Once they mention that person's name, you are just I don't even want to hear it. Just get off. There is nothing good there's nothing good that person can do that you can perceive as good. That is anger and that is bitterness. Just like I've explained, I'll give you scenarios. By reason of my position as a doctor, we deal with this a lot in the hospital, more than you would even expect. I'll give you a classical example. Two friends living in the same compound but different houses. They had a misunderstanding for whatever reason, and then they stopped talking. But one of them just his anger towards that event was very abnormal. And then he went out. He lives with his father. He went out. By the time he came back, his father explained that events that happened in his absence between him, the father, and the friend who he fought with. And because he already had this sense of anger, he just went to confront his friend. And they were arguing, and then he took a bottle and stabbed his friend. They brought the friend with his intestine outside. We came to the hospital. That was how we got to know of the situation. Now, by the time we asked, because police had to be involved and everything, by the time we asked what the issue was, it was the whole issue started because of 2,000 naira. That is a very abnormal response to that event. Now, because of 2,000 naira, you have stabbed someone, police is involved, so he has to be charged. The person going for surgery has to also go for surgery, and the hospital has to be paid. He had incurred cost greater than 2,000. He's going to spend hundreds of thousands of naira. Now, the entire family who lives in the compound, everybody just was out towards the guy. They want them to pack out of the house. So, because of that moment of anger, he has put his family through a lot, and even he will suffer greatly for it. His friend too is also suffering from it by being in the hospital. That goes to show you how a brief moment of anger can affect not only you but even those around you. Now, let me go back to the focus of this. We are focusing on health this time. Um, what are the impacts that our angers or our bitterness can have on our health? We might just think just reacting. I'm not harming anybody. But in actual fact, the first person you're harming when you're angry or when you're getting bitter is yourself. And I will explain it in the medical terms. Now, if I'm talking with, say, her, and we are exchanging words, I'm very angry. I can't be angry and be saying, why are you doing this? Most times when you're angry, you're just shouting. Everybody's hearing your voice and you're pacing and you're running. When you're doing that, your pulse rate gets high. Some of you will experience when you're angry, you can hear your heart beating. That's your heart racing. It's picking up speed. There's a normal limit that is allowed. There's a number of beats your heart is allowed to beat per minute. When you're angry, you go beyond what is allowed. Your heart rate begins to go up. When your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure follows suit. It starts to go up too. Because in your state of anger, your body only recognizes itself to do two things. Either you fight, or you run away. But in state of anger, most people choose to fight. You want to confront the person or the action that is causing you that emotion. So most people don't understand. What do you mean? And you can see some people, their veins start rising up on this part. It is dangerous. You might feel, oh, the person is just angry. Everything has consequences. Anger creates an environment of stress inside the body. When you are stressed, there's an hormone that is released inside the body. It is so strong. That hormone, what it does, it also increases your blood sugar because you need energy to fight. And the way the body produces energy is from sugar. So the hormone pushes sugar into your blood so that it gives you that energy to fight. You want to fight. Your blood pressure has already gone up. You cannot fight somebody with a normal blood pressure. Your blood pressure has to go up. You have to confront that situation. That's another thing. The other thing, because if you keep doing this at a sustained rate, your immunity also drops. All these times that you're angry and your blood pressure goes up, your heart rate goes up, the heart is not getting enough blood as it should. What the body does is it pushes blood to the parts, the organs that it considers as important in that situation. Things that are not organs that will not be important to be your kidney. Blood affects your sleep. Have you ever seen anybody being angry now, and then in the next second they went to sleep? Even in the next 30 minutes, to be very hard to sleep, you will just be on your bed. That's a pain. And the person that offended you has slept, but you are just there on the bed, just scrolling. Then you wake up in the morning, you try to not have a good night. Your anger, your emotions, that wound that has been released, intentional. You cannot sleep in a stressful environment. That's essentially what anger does. Because of the hormone that has been released into your body, sleep is impossible. And when you cannot sleep, you cannot function. Everybody, if you have ever experienced a sleepless night, you will know the following day you are close to useless. Just the day is just it's already bad from the morning. You are just cranky, you're angry at everyone. They greet you, say good morning, what's the about? And you just keep going on and on and on and on like that. Those events are not good. And for those who are already hypertensive, you're on medication, you are not even on medication. Some people are hypertensive and they don't know because I've not been going for checkup. And you just get angry. They say, what do you mean? And in that process, your blood pressure is high, you don't know, but now you're angry. It is getting worse. You don't know. And the blood pressure goes beyond the point and it just fall, and that's the end. For those who are unlucky, for those who are lucky, they may stroke and they carry them to the hospital. But what fun is it to start you that you can walk with your two legs unaided, you can go to the restroom. Now you have to depend on other people to do the most basic functions, like just want to get up and ease yourself. Or you need a drink of water, you have to wait for somebody to come and get it for you. Nobody likes that kind of lifestyle. All right. So another way, most importantly, that anger and bitterness, because we are women, I'm going to talk about it, is it affects our fertility as women. I also work very closely in a fertility hospital, so I know. And one of the things we would always tell our patients is keep a happy household, be happy. Sometimes we go as far as giving some people mood stabilizers. That is how much your emotions affect your health. Again, this hormone that is released when you're angry, cortisol, the hormone is called cortisol. It will not just stop on your blood sugar. It affects the heart. It affects the brain. Brain ultimately is what controls your reproductive system as women. And remember again already as women, because we do menstruation every month, for those who have not yet attained menopause, The hormones of menstruation already predisposes most women to mood swings. Sometimes you may notice during your period, just for no reason, you just be like, I'm just sad. I don't want anybody to talk to me. You're just moody normally. Now, you are in that state and then you still get angry. Your hormones have already rendered, pushed you off balance, but you still get angry on top of this. Anger causes a deep feeling of sadness. You just imagine this on top of being angry. That is just way too much. Already, this person is tending towards depression. You are just depressed. You don't want to relate with everybody. And if you see somebody angry now, normal, you just see somebody angry on the road. What do you do as a person? You see somebody angry. You tend to avoid the person. You say, I don't want wahala. That's what we say. Everybody leave them to their own devices. Go and do that woman is angry again. Don't go near her. Oh. That's how she used to do. You have started creating space. People will unconsciously start avoiding you. They know this woman as she's always angry, she's always bitter about something. If you go and meet her like this, what she will do for you? Don't go. Everybody starts to avoid you. And whether we like it or not, as human beings, we cannot survive without human interaction. We need one another. No matter how much you say I like my solitude and all, at some point you want to see someone else. I've not seen Lagbaja, let me go and see. It's not because yes, you might love the person, but you also need that human interaction to know that I matter. I am important to somebody. But when you every day, today you are angry, tomorrow you are angry, next tomorrow you are angry, people start to avoid you and they tell you that woman is always angry. Avoid her. You don't want that to happen. No human being can survive. Even animals cannot survive. Animals that are alone in the jungle, they tend to die faster than those who live in parks. So for that's for the part of women who are menstruating. For women who have entered menopause, we are no more doing menstruation. What is the effect of anger? For anyone here who has attained menopause, you may have experienced this. There are things, symptoms you experience like mood swings, hot flushes, you're just moody, you don't want to talk to anybody. Sometimes it just comes in waves like that. On top of this, you still get angry. Sustained, very sustained anger every day, every day, every day, every day. You are worsening your symptoms. You cannot just find anything anybody does is very annoying. If somebody sneezes or laughs or chuckles, you see that person is probably laughing at you, and then you're just angry for no reason for what you think somebody may have done that is not even right in the first place. So anger on top of your normal state that you are going through menopause, your body is already in mood swings. You now get angry on top of it. It is not good. It is not fun at all. As a doctor, I've had people just come to the hospital. Doctor, Twitter, they'll just give all manner of complaints that I know they are not correlating, and then you just take time to ask questions, and you find out that it's because of anger. Just and you talk to them. For some who are willing to get help, they just calm down and everything goes on. I've even gone as far as saying a father rushing the daughter to the hospital because the mother, in a state of anger, used something and hit the daughter's head that needed to be stitched. I was wondering what sort of anger would make a mother hit hurt their child. And then it just occurred to me, it may not have been what the child did. Maybe somebody offended it because the injury did not correlate with what they said the child had done. So that goes to show you the effect. The anger is at the mother did not come to the hospital because she felt bad. She's already sad, she's already depressed. The child is in the hospital in pains. So your anger not only affects you, it affects those around you. And especially when it affects your loved ones, even in your angry state, you don't feel good about it. you start to get sad and depressed. You withdraw from everybody, you keep to yourself. You're already entering into a state of depression. Anger, while it is normal, it may be normal to experience it. It is abnormal to act on it. To say you want to confront that thing that is making you angry. Because usually, never ever ever has it happened that when you are angry and you decide to, everybody's voice will go up. The whole world will know something is going on. It is our response to anger usually that is abnormal, not the anger itself. I need you to understand that. Now, what ways can we use to manage anger? Since we have said anger is normal, everybody can experience anger. Now, there are different ways of experiencing. If you're angry, somebody has annoyed you, somebody has done something to stimulate that emotion inside you. So I'm not saying you should not say it fair. Since I said don't confront the anger, it doesn't mean you just let the person go and allow things to people to ride over you. No, there are healthy ways of expressing your feelings. If somebody said you are stupid, sometimes you may just choose to walk away. It's not everybody says you are stupid a lot of times. You know you're not stupid. You don't need to respond and enable that person. Well, another way is you can call the person. If one person goes high, you go low. If they go low, you go high. That way, you avoid the negative effect and impacts of anger. You can call the person, sit the person down, and talk to the person. If they have done something to annoy you, call the person. Just you might not call the person in the moment because if you reply in the moment, you will reply with so much heat and annoyance and the other person too. If I want to tell you, if I want to explain something you did to me, if I'm talking to you in no voice, it's different from what you did for me that yesterday. That person too might also take it and say, what do you mean? Why are you shouting? You tend to want to raise your voice. But you can call the person, sit down and have a cool-headed discussion about what they did. Most reasonable people will not react negatively to that because they know you have called them in a calm and there's no need to raise your voice. Especially if you think you're the party, you are the one that has been offended. Just call the person, talk, and have a reasonable and cool-headed discussion about what they have done to get you angry. Another thing you could do is that science has proven to work is diaries. Some people keep diaries, and diaries are also a way of keeping a diary is also a way of letting go, expressing your feelings. Nobody might get to read it, but at least you've been able to write it down. So anger a lot of time and bitterness especially is because we keep a lot of things locked inside because you think somebody did something to you. That's it. This person. It's in your mind, you are not saying it outside. You are even looking cool and you're smiling, but your heart is so bitter. And you think what this person did this to me. I will never forgive them. Bitterness has already set in. Don't need to do that. Can write it out in your journal, and if you can, find avenues to talk about it. That brings me to the next point of getting a community of loved ones, similar minded people where you can talk to and relate with. If you find someone you can talk to, they can advise you. Two heads are usually better than one in some cases. So speak to people who you think can help. There's even a facility available for that in the hospital. There are psychiatrists you can talk to, or therapists, psychologists. Now, psychiatrist doesn't mean you have a mental illness. If you see a psychiatrist, it's not only those with mental illness that see psychiatrists. You'll be surprised the number of conditions for which people need to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Just somebody you can talk to. You know, the Yorubas, we say, I don't know Yoruba, Oloro mi leni. Someone you can talk to who can just bring your head down, just Speak cool words and calm words to you and calm down. Um, Another way you can try to manage anger is forgive the person. Be easy to forgive. Sometimes some people will just say certain things because of what they are going through or what they have passed, and they will say that word to you. You might be tempted to react, not even knowing where this person is coming from. Just look at them and say, I forgive you. Just be quick to don't let words easily hurt you. Develop a tough skin. Because people will just sometimes do the most random thing, and but sometimes you just think about it and say, well, I don't know what this person may have gone through or may be going through to make them do this sort of thing. Or I forgive you. Just let it go. Because if you allow that word to get to you, it keeps multiplying. And then you also go ahead and annoy somebody, and if everybody keeps doing that, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. We can't keep doing that. Just be quick to forgive and let go of certain situations. Even science, a study has been done that for those who easily forgive, they have been found to live longer. They have healthier heart, cardiovascular health, that's the heart health. They have their pulse rate is better. They can even sleep better. If you have ever forgiven, like truly forgiving somebody, the sleep you will sleep that night, you will notice that it will be different because your heart is just free of baggage and emotions, and you just sleep like a baby. I have seen it happen over and over and over again. So please cultivate the habit of forgiving easily. you know. So that's that. So what are the ways for those of us who tend to get angry easily? What are the ways that you can use to just up build your own? Because I believe those who get angry easily, they are emotionally immature. So what are the ways you can help build your emotions to stability? One way is physical exercise. You can gather yourself in twos and threes, or if you see nobody, jog alone. Jogging helps to improve your brain health, your overall body system. If you are in a relaxed state, human beings don't usually want things that will disrupts that state of relaxation. You tend to just want to do away with stress. I've just finished jogging. It's a cool morning. It's a cool evening. You finish jogging. You just sit down in your house or you go to work and I don't want wahala this morning. You look happier. You're happier. You're brighter. You are relating with people better when you exercise. You have your improved health. Another way you can do is engaging in community and creative activities like this. This is a community activity where people can talk to you, you can meet people of like mind, and you can express yourself in an healthy way and in an healthy environment. There are some people that we have a community, they will tell them there's a program, this or that. I don't know slow. They just prefer to be in their house. Those kind of people may be easily prone to getting angry. So engaging in community programs like this and activities. Oh, there's this power group is also a very good initiative where you meet people of similar minds in almost near similar situations that you can talk to and express your intentions, and you see, oh, I'm not the only one. This thing that I thought was focused towards only me, I'm not the only one experiencing it. It gives you a sense of belonging, a sense of community, a sense of love, and that helps over time to build your emotions. And last but not the least, and science has also proven it, is prayer. As religious as it may sound, pray, talk to your creator. He knows your weak points, he knows your strengths, and he knows how to strengthen you from your place of weakness. Talk to God. Talk to your God. God, help me to manage my anger. Yeah. I don't want to remain in this state of bitterness any longer. Help me to let go and let God. Some certain situations, yes, may warrant you being that angry, but I don't think any situation warrants you being so bitter for a long time. And it may be hard to forgive and let go. But if you talk to God, who is above all, who is your creator, who is the creator of everyone here, He's able to lead you and guide you to let go and let Him and strengthen you emotionally. Yeah. Thank you very much. Please, if you have any question for Dr. Alabi, this is time for question. She's here. Yeah.
Sure, sure. Thank you very much, Doctor. I think it's good to be in this kind of situation, program, I mean. But I want to ask concerning the writing, on the diary. If you write it, have you, forgiven, or if you are still, carrying it in your mind? So I'm confused. I need to be more enlightened concerning that. Thank you.
All right. So when we say forgiveness, sometimes a lot of people confuse the fact that forgiveness means you go and tell this person, I forgive you. It's not all the time that you see the person who has offended you before you decide to forgive them. You holding the emotions inside you, you are the one that you're literally doing yourself. So forgiving the person means from the bottom of my heart. Sometimes the person you are forgiving may not even think that they have done anything to warrant your forgiveness. So writing in your own diary may just be a way. Sometimes there can be certain situations you cannot even tell somebody about how this person has offended you. But writing it down, putting it in words, what things how it can help is you have to think to write it. You have to think about the situation to write it down. It helps you also take a second look at that situation. As you're writing it, you think, does this even warrant me getting angry over? Is this so? Is when you finish writing, some certain situation will just that you did this one when they now call one single person explain, and the person will now say actually, then they start trying to pick their words. In your writing it down, you also reassess the situation, and a lot of the times you may find out that this situation is not even worth it in the first place, and you are just like, I let it go, and you just forget about it. Even in the place of writing, we have seen certain movies we have watched people's thoughts and emotions that they have documented over time, and they just, oh, this can be adopted into a movie, and it becomes a movie. They're able to get the right partnership, and it becomes a movie. Those are healthy ways of expressing it. Writing down essentially helps you to rethink about the situation. You are not thinking about it in the heat of the moment. You have removed yourself from the situation. You are thinking about it, how you thought this person as what they have done or what you think they have done and how you reacted to it. And you just, this ain't even worth it. Just leave it. And you can just forgive the person and just let go of that situation rather than just holding on to it. That is the way that writing down helps you to manage your anger. That's explanation. Doctor, thank you very much. My question was like this. I want to give an example on myself. If somebody offend me, I will just got annoyed instantly. But within a short period, I will forget. I will forget totally.
But I want to ask this question. It's easy to forget, but it's easy to forgive, but is it easy to forget? That's my question. Thank you very much.
Everybody has an opinion on this. While it's easy to forgive, depending on what has been done to you, honestly, it is not easy to forget. There might be certain situations in future that will come up and you just remember, "Man, that was how this person did that day." Oh, it's very normal. Which also brings me to my last point about prayer. See, as human beings, we are very capable. So I can come here and hold my microphone and say forgive am. I didn't even say forget, but I said forgive. But with forgiveness, it has to be done many times in certain situations. Forgive over and over and over and over again. Like I said, you forgiving may not necessarily be you going to meet the person. Forgive from your own heart. In fact, the person you are forgiving may still say, see, I'm very correct what I did. They will not even admit fault. But you are angry and you're saying, what do you mean? You are not at fault. Can you hear what this person is saying? And then you get angry again. It's as long as you understand that your negative emotions is doing only you. If I'm angry, but the effect of anger is felt only inside me, it's not felt inside you, it's not felt inside you. As long as you understand that fact, you should be willing to forgive over and over and over. And if it's as much as 1,000 times, do that. It is for your own self. Accept that it is not for the other person. The other person has absolutely nothing to benefit from you forgiving them or you trying to sort your own emotions out regarding that matter. Forgive from your own heart, regardless of the actions of the other person. Over time, if you remember it again, this person needs to forgive that person in that moment. Forgive that person in that moment. If you remember another time, forgive that person in that moment and keep praying. God is a merciful God. He will help you over time to forget that emotion. Even if you don't forget and you remember, it doesn't come with that negative feeling that it will usually come with. Just a human beings, we are fallible. Even you that you think you can't forget, we have all offended somebody up to that point, and somebody is thinking, this person, that's why I did that day, that day. You have to learn to forgive over and over and over again. And ask God for help in the aspect of forgetting. I don't know if there are any strategies to forgetting. So much. Thank you, Dr. Alani. We have three of our mommies that just came in. You know, I told you people you are special people. Yes, and I'm happy that I have so many mommies. I want to introduce wife of Assistant Commissioner of Police, Mrs. Olarewaji. Mommy, wife of Commissioner of Police, Mrs. Olarewanju, Commissioner of Police, Works Department. She is here with us. We have another mommy, Mrs. Uka. She is also wife of Commissioner of Police, Works Department. Then I have another mommy here with me that came with her two mommies. She is Mrs. Alimatu, wife of Assistant Commissioner of Police. So put this together for our mommies. Mommy, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you for honoring our invitation. Oh, we have another special person. He is Dr. Mustafa from Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. His father was his wife and his student. Lagos State, we have Mrs. Steve. She came together with Dr. Mustafa from Lagos State Ministry of Health. Lagos State Ministry of Health. Next week, by God's grace, you will be meeting with Dr. Mustafa, Mrs. Steve from the Ministry of Health for something special. Something very special. Yes. So at this moment, please put your hands together. Put your hands together as we welcome Mr. Sunday Ede. He is from the Department of Mechanized Salary Structure, MSS, Post Headquarters, Annex, Lagos. He will be speaking to us on police widow entitlement. So get ready. What you've been asking for all these years, he is here to answer it. Please get ready and listen very well. Thank you.
Talking about, sorry, might be a little bit shy. I'll try my best. My name is Sunday. I work with the police council project. I work with the police council project. Good morning to my of my communities. Wonderful. I'm speaking from my experience as to what you are entitled to when you lost your husbands. So, you are entitled, the first entitlement is the burial expenses. Burial expenses enables you to get funds from the police for the burial. Might not come immediately, but it's always given. Then the second one is the police insurance. That one comes almost immediately. The third one is the group life insurance. It takes time, but it will come eventually. You're also entitled to the NHF. It's a personal contribution from the disease, National Housing Fund. The IGP also gives, they call it IGP package, gives that one too. Then the gratuity, which is the main punch. Now, all these expiry dates, when you lost your loved one, at least within a year, I'm aware, within a year, the group life insurance expires within a year. If you're not able to process it, it's fact that goes beyond the year, you might end up losing it. Like I said, group life insurance. The IG package too has an expiring date. So people, like I said, I have a personal experience. And I think I know some persons here. Some persons know me. Yeah, I've been attending to a lot of widows in my command, and I try as much as I can to help them in my own way. Some are brainwashed to thinking that when you lost your loved one, you can collect the salaries for 3 months, some say 6 months, but they're actually brainwashing you. The moment you lost your loved one, yes, you're grieving, understand. But you need to fight for the sweat, which is the entitlement. The first thing you're supposed to do is to report to the command where the person served last. Now, you can't confirm that a policeman is dead until you are able to provide a death certificate and a signal from the police. There must be a signal. There is no signal that person is not dead. Yeah. Still alive. Yeah. And there are requirements when processing all this. Now I'm going to focus on my office, which is the primary place, the starting point. Without that, you cannot even proceed. And I'm limiting myself to my office, please. I do not know their requirements. I can't tell the bank their requirements. And I can't tell pension the requirements. I can't even tell insurance too. They all have their various requirements. But within the MSS level, even though we have different MSS, which is mechanized salary section, the number one requirement is the letter of introduction from the next complex of kin. Letter of introduction from the command. The command is to introduce you as the next of kin. Is the number one requirement. The number two, in the case of an inspector, because this one it has to do with ranks too. In the case of inspector upward, it has to be two next of kin. From the rank of inspector, it's usually two next of kin. If you come alone, nobody will attend to you. It has to be two next of kin. Then in cases of NCO, which is sergeant downward, we have just one next of kin. The signal reporting that, like I said, is also needed. The death certificates and the emolument form. The emolument form, the disease field last, is also needed to enable you process all these things I've mentioned earlier. Then the bank, some of the disease, they have loans with the bank. Now, there's something a lot of you don't know. For every loan, you have insurance. That loan is always insured. You don't need to be scared of reporting to the bank that you lost your loved one. You need to go with some documents, which is most especially the police microfinance bank. They will always request for the death certificates, the signal reporting debt. The signal reporting debt is a vital thing when it comes to police entitlements. It's very, very vital. So they will request for that. Once you're able to provide that, the insurance company will clear the loan, and whatever fund you have in the bank that belongs to you will be given to you. So take note, a lot of people will be scared. And I have cases where a lot of next of kin have abandoned their entitlement. Why? Because of the issue of overpayments. A lot. I call them and they say they don't have the money to clear. When the money keeps coming and you keep withdrawing, it means you're indebted to the federal government. And you have to return it. You have to refund that money back. I'm talking about the one you eat, it's not the one that your husband borrowed from the bank. That one is insured. But you see that one you are eating, there's no insurance, but you have to return it. So a lot of people have forfeited their entitlements because of overpayments. And it keeps coming, you keep taking it, and the MSS does not stop it. At times the signal does not get to them on time. You're supposed to go there. That's I've lost my loved one. How do we go about it? You tell me what to do. So please, I think I've mentioned. I know maybe most of you have questions, so I might not really. I don't want to go too far because I just have 10 or 2 minutes now. So I don't know how. I don't know if there's any question. Thank you.
I do have a question. So, hello. Okay. So, when it comes to death benefits, what's the first stage again? And can you tell us that very clearly? What's the first stage that they need?
The first stage, when you lost your loved one, that is a disease. The next of kin is supposed to go to the command the disease served last to tender a complaint by way of presenting the death certificate. The command will in return raise a signal reporting the death. You get me? That's the first stage. The command will report the death and send the signals to the MSS level, which is the mechanized salary sections, and we have the MSS in the whole state of the federation. It will be sent. Now, the next of kin is supposed to get a letter from that same command introducing the next of kin as the next of kin. It's supposed to get a letter. And there are addresses. You address it to. A lot of you don't know that. Thank you for that question. A lot of you don't know that your husbands are into cooperating. A lot don't know. So there is always a letter from the command surplus to the AIG cooperative. The AIG cooperative. Another letter is to the command finance officer of that command, either command finance officer, Lagos State Command, Police College, uh, that is Ogun State Command, and so on and so forth. There must be a letter. It's just the same letter, but addressed to different sections. Letter of introduction of next of kin. I know at that point you might be grieving, okay, but you need to know that when you lost your loved one, when you grieve, within a month, you should be able to stand up and start processing all these things. When you spend the money for the burial expenses, the police will refund you that money. All you need to do is to process it. If you don't process it, you don't fill forms, nobody will pay you because there will be no record, there will be nothing to work on. And we have auditors under the police that go through all these records and confirm that they are true before they can pay you. So when you get these letters, like I said, letter of introduction of next of kin, one to the AIG cooperative, command finance officer, the officer in charge, pay office. The pay office is for the burial expenses. Then the Federal Mortgage Bank. Federal Mortgage Bank is for the NHF, National Housing Fund. They are all police officers are contributing. It's deducted in their monthly salaries. NHF. Even the insurance, police insurance. That's why I said you have two insurance. Police insurance and the group life insurance. Now, a police officer is entitled to group life insurance only if he dies in active service. Active service, please. It's not when otherwise. It's entitled only when he dies in active service. That is how it is. So the MSS level is the primary, is the number one, is the starting point to getting all the entitlements. With the documents from the MSS, all you need to go, all you need to do is to go to these different offices, pension, insurance. Mostly we have pension desk officers, and the pension desk officers are always the ones in charge of even the insurance, processing the insurance for you. They are always the ones processing it. But the NHF is always from the MSS level, which is the mechanized salary section. Now, the NHF, the burial expenses, is always from the MSS level. Take note, the NHF, the burial expenses, is always from the MSS level. You might not know the card. There's a card for NHF, somehow green and white. A lot of people know it. So you can check the documents and you see that card. It's NHF. Some of you might not have claimed it, but you can still claim it. Just get that card.
So I have another question. Can so I understand they need to have the letters and go to the command. If it's been some years, can they still go through that first stage process if they have not done it before?
Yes, yes, yes. No matter how long it takes, you can still go there. But just you need prayers that the people serving there are still there. Don't forget, because most of the times, if they are not able to trace the card, there is a PE card. They call it personal emolument card. It's a card. All police officers have that card in the MSS level. If they're able to trace that card, they can process whatever they need to process.
That goes to my next question. Even for active police officers, they need to. Is there a way that we can get like, if y'all quiet down, I'm getting you good information. Please, ladies. Or even if your husband is alive, I'm speaking to the police officers that, and some, but we do have some that are active police officers now, and not all widows. Lucky. So, if your husband is in service now, is there some type of card that those widows should, I mean, that they should have that has their husband's warrant number, his name, and all of that information? So, is there some type of card that we can show them of what it looks like, get a copy of it, be able to pass it out to active officers? Well, the widow should know all that information too. So if there is a form that you can give us that we can pass on to them of the pertinent information that they should have, will that assist them for the active officers and the other ones of the widow?
Every police officer from the rank of inspector, they used to fill a form called Gen 60. That Gen 60 contains all the information, the salary progression, the rank progression, everything that has to do with police officer. It's called Gen 60. As a serving police officer, you have to fill that form. And a copy, make a copy. And to every police officer, they have the office file where all their records are. Can only be given to the next of kin after the demise. So fact is, there is always a form. That's why I said it shouldn't take too long 10, 20, 30 years, processing, still processing. No, it shouldn't be so. Okay, if not, there is a file, there's a document, the Gen 60 and the office file. It is from the office file they determine the next of kin. It is from the office file. Even from the Gen 62, they compare all these things to get the next of kin. So the next of kin might not be at the page, but the mother can always stand Yeah, they don't take this.
Okay, so that's a good idea. So what we'll do is the letters that they need to write, we'll get the information for you and have it in a form. All of the letters that you need to write, the steps from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. That if you have not received your death benefits for your loved one, then we're going to give you a form of the steps with the letters and the addresses and all the information that you need because I don't want you not to get the death benefits. I don't want you to get what you deserve. We know we're so sorry that your husband, your loved one has died in service. And that's something that you deserve. And we want to make sure that you get that. And so that's why we wanted to bring him here so that he can explain those things so that we can get the information because I was totally unclear about when I heard stories that someone haven't got their death benefits in 12 years, 10 years, 5 years, that's concerning me. So I reached out to Madam Glam. I said, we need to bring someone in to give them the information because I wouldn't want to leave my family stranded and not have that information. And even active police officers need to give that information to the next of kin so they'll have it just in case something does happen. All police officers should do that. And so, sir, I just want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your effort. Giving me, you know, and please, whatever you can do for our team, will if you can establish some type of information in reference to a key person in your office that we can submit some of the stuff to on behalf of the widows, because maybe some are not familiar with filling out the paperwork and stuff like that. And through the Kendrick Scrivener Vocational Center, we may be able to assist some of the widows in reference to filling out the paperwork and assisting in that. That's one of my visions. That's one of my dreams. So thank you so much, sir.
Hey, thank you so much. Please put your hands together. Put your hands together. Don't forget the most important thing. Be mindful of your action, your words. You just had a testimony of someone that was very rude to the staff. They were ready to assist her. She was very rude with a lot of accusation. They helped her drop everything, waiting for her to come. I will come for you. Of course, they will wait for her to come. She did not come till everything expired. So be very polite. Please and please. So we're going to close this section. I know so many questions. So just like our boss said, whatever it is, put it. He is ready to help. Thank you so much.